Looking to take you and your real estate business to the next level? You're in the right place. Laying foundations for real estate success? This is the No Fluff, No BS podcast about real estate for real estate agents and other industry professionals looking to up their game. Unfiltered short-form sales meetings, interviews with agents from every walk of life, and ramble sessions about everything real estate. Welcome to a new mindset. You are listening to RERAW. And now, introducing your host, James Hoff. What's happening, folks, and welcome to real estate's freshest, newest, and in my personal opinion, most exciting podcast. It's nice to finally meet you. My name is James Hoff, and I will be your host. You are listening to RERAW. RERAW is the no fluff, no BS podcast about real estate. It's for real estate agents and other industry professionals that are looking to better their strategies, grow their education, and ultimately increase the results of their business. RERAW is laying foundations for real estate success. RERAW is real estate raw. Folks, you're tuning into episode 0, and gosh, I can't even tell you how excited I am to be here. Thank you so much with everything that I got from the very bottom of my heart for tuning in and being here with me today. I can't see you on the other side of those devices, but I can certainly feel your presence, and it does mean a lot to have you here as we turn the page into this new chapter where we're finally getting this content out into the public ear. So thank you very much for being there. You know, it's not beyond me in today's world that we have pretty much infinite access to an unlimited number of resources right at our fingertips, the click of a button, and we can be immersed and engaged in content that can help with our personal and professional growth and development. So I appreciate the opportunity to bend your ear for a few minutes. If you like what you hear, I hope you'll listen. If you're inspired and intrigued, I hope we'll be spending a lot more time together in the days, the weeks, the months, hopefully even years that follow, learning from and growing with one another as a community in this already quickly growing RERAW environment. Now, some of you might be a little bit newer to the podcasting platform, and for those who are, I want to quickly explain what episode 0 is. This is my opportunity as a host to shove a little more information down your throat about the actual show. We're going to talk today about the structure, the type of content that you can expect to hear, the different episode formats that I'll leverage to deliver the content in, and then I'd like to share with you a little why journey. What got us here, the backstory of RERAW and why we even exist, and then I'll definitely share some insights into my personal and professional background so you can know this crazy guy behind the microphone. I'm sure more of that will come out in the episodes that follow, but might as well have a base level foundation so you know who you're getting on this crazy train with. Now, before we get into all that, if you've not already done so, you've got to go check out our new website. You can find us online at RERAW.com. That's RERAW.com. Spelled just like it sounds. Again, it's RERAW.com. If you can't remember it, just think real estate raw and then crunch it together. You get RERAW, because that's what it stands for, and that's what we are, RERAW.com. On the website, you can pop your name and email address in so I can keep in contact with you. I promise I'm not going to harass you on a multiple time a day basis, but I would like to keep up with you when we have new episodes that launch and are published on our website and on our in our podcast, so that you have access to that information at your fingertips. And those emails may also include some tips and tricks and giveaways and access to events and fun and all kinds of stuff that we have. So make sure that you pop that in there so we can keep up with you. On the website, you can also listen right there to our other episodes. You can subscribe to our station. You can also do that on iTunes or whatever device you're listening on. You can subscribe there. If you don't like us, then just get out of here. But if you do like us, then leave us a review. Appreciate your feedback and share us with your colleagues and your friends so that we can all get better together and just be better professionals, a better industry, create a better real estate environment for ourselves and for our clients. And on our website, you can also access all of our previously recorded episodes. And as that library continues to expand, you'll be able to search for the subjects and the topics, the type of content that's relevant and important to you for the moment that you're in. And you'll get access to all of our show notes. So if you're driving or you're just not in a place where you can jot down notes, if you ever want to go back and access the different resources we discussed, the technology, the tools, the books, the tips and tricks, the other shows, whatever it may be, it'll be all accessible to you in those show notes. So make sure that you check out our website. And then last but not least, you can certainly get a hold of me directly through the website and stay in touch. I value your feedback, your insights, and your commentary. So please make sure that you keep in touch with me as well. Very excited to be engaged with all of you out in the audience. Now, for those inquiring minds, I should tell you that I too am actually a licensed and practicing realtor. I'm out here in sunny Southern California. I am in Orange County. For those of you who don't know where that is, it's about smack dab in the middle, right between Los Angeles and San Diego. And I have lived out here for about 22, going on 23 years now. Done most of my growing up down here. Finished grade school, junior high, high school. In fact, I love Southern California so much, I just drove right up the freeway to go to college. So I am a very proud alumni from the University of Southern California. So fight on to my fellow Trojan listeners out there. You have a very special place in my heart. Appreciate your support too. After college, came right back down the freeway to Orange County, where most of my family and friends are located, and I've just never been able to get out of here. Just love it. I am happily married. I've been married for over 8 years now. My lovely wife, Erin, and I go all the way back to junior high, actually, and although we weren't dating since our childhood, we certainly stayed the best of friends, and a little over 8 years ago, she said I do to this nut job over here. And since then, she's blessed me with 3 amazing children. So we have 2 girls and a little boy to boot. So I've got a 6-year-old girl, a 3-year-old girl, and a 1-year-old little boy. And they certainly keep us busy. So when we're not working and when I'm not selling houses, I'm usually coaching soccer and taking kids to gymnastics and dance and school events and chasing them all over the place, trying to find my sanity. Sometimes we get to sleep. Every now and then we get to go away on a quick vacation when money and time permit, and school schedules work and whatever. So if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm out there in the trenches with you, and I'm a normal dude just living my life, having some fun, playing the game, and trying to figure it all out. On the professional side, I actually come from a corporate sales background. So before my real estate days, I was working in corporate America. I've worked for companies like DHL, Callaway Golf, New Balance Footwear, and I really attribute much of my success today for the foundation that was built in the corporate world. Back in my DHL days, I was selling for a subsidiary of DHL, and one of the rules, to give you an example of my sales history, one of the rules were we were not allowed to contact a prospective client on the phone until we physically walked through their door and asked to talk to the owner or president of the company. So the next time you're flying into Southern California, John Wayne Airport, look out the window and you'll see pretty much every building that I've been escorted out of by security or police or any number of other people. But, I learned quickly that you get thick skin from that stuff and you can survive. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And that thick skin has served me well, not only through the remainder of my corporate days, but well into my real estate career. And it still helps me to this very day. At Callaway, I was in customer service for a short period of time and worked my way into inside sales. Customer service was kind of a rite of passage, and certainly one that I'm forever grateful for because it gave me a foundation that I never expected I would get. That position really taught me how to humanize the interaction between the company and the consumer, from the business to the consumer, the B2C. And, we talk to a lot of golf shops and golf courses as well, but you learn how to not be so robotic. And I really appreciated the opportunity to be in that position, more in hindsight, but it was a great job, and it led to a phenomenal career as an inside sales rep with Callaway Golf. I was there for about 4 years total. And inside sales was awesome because it taught me how much you can do on the phone. I know real estate's a face-to-face business, but inside sales really taught me how powerful you can be on the phone and how much you can actually sell to somebody on the phone before you're ever in front of them, if ever at all. And we're going to talk about how you can sell over the phone, even in this business, which is very face-to-face. We're going to talk about that in future episodes. So looking forward to sharing some of those insights and information. And then I finally got in front of the customer face-to-face when I was in the New Balance footwear position as an outside sales rep, territory manager for the Southwestern Territory. Worked with all kinds of accounts, including international strategic accounts, and really had an awesome time. I was a windshield warrior. I was driving about 1,500 to 2,000 miles a week out there on the road, just having all kinds of fun. And what I realized quickly is that I love sales. That was in my blood, and that was never going to change. But I wasn't passionate about the product, and I was so tired of the corporate politics. You know, the constant issues with inventory, always outselling what manufacturing produced, and then having that negatively impact your income, and spending time just pointing fingers at everybody else, right? Oh, we don't have the product because the buyers didn't buy enough of it. The manufacturing didn't manufacture enough. Forecasting didn't forecast enough. You know, it was always everybody else's fault, right? And but all fingers pointed back to sales. And I got tired of that inventory game, but I also just got tired of the politics, you know? And gosh, that's a deeper conversation, and I'll spare you all the details on it. But I wanted to be able to sell the way I wanted to sell, talk to people the way I wanted to talk to people, and ultimately run a business the way that I knew how to run it. And I felt with the foundation I was given in the corporate world that I had strong enough legs at that point to go out there and make it on my own. So I left a six-figure income in corporate America. I got into the real estate business, and I have been a six-figure income producer in the real estate world since year one as well. And while I don't think income or GCI fully defines your success in the real estate world, or in any business for that matter, because we all enter into our lives and our opportunities with different goals and intentions, it was very important for me to replace the income that I left corporate America with, because our lifestyle quickly relied on it. And you know, with a growing family at the time, we had just had one child, but you know, we left a six-figure income with a wife and a 11-month-old little girl at the time, our first child, and you know, started over from nothing. So a lot of risk, but major reward for hard work and for getting it done. So that's a little bit about me. I don't want to bore you with all the details. Like I said, more of that will come out, and I'm certainly not spending my time with you today just reading off a resume, but I wanted you to know a little bit about my professional background. In real estate, I've been in real estate now I'm in my sixth year. Until the beginning of 2018, I was flying solo, and I've just started developing a team of my own. In the process of also getting this podcast off the ground. So kind of creating a new structure for that. So that's been an exciting adventure as well, which we'll certainly talk more about in future episodes. So let's get to the RERAW stuff. So why RERAW? Why does this crazy thing exist? What is it all about? Why are we here? You know, when I first got into real estate, I was convinced that the biggest challenge I would have, aside from client acquisition, would be actually handling the clients, dealing with the buyers and sellers. And much to my surprise, and almost from day one, I quickly found out that the most challenging part of this business was actually dealing with the other agents, dealing with the vendors. And I attribute that, in hindsight, to the low barrier to entry we have in the business, the fairly low requirements we have to maintain our license. There's a lack of desire for so many people in this industry to educate themselves beyond whatever they had to do to either to get their license initially, or for whatever the minimal requirements are to maintain it. But continuing education with contract classes, best practices in sales, learning how to just fundamentally run your business like a business, how to do something as simple and basic as setting goals, how to talk to other people, how to understand and interpret a contract, you know, People just don't do that. How to understand a real estate market, how to adjust a house, how to come up with a fair market value for it when you're going on a listing presentation, and how to understand the verbiage in a contract when you're in the middle of a deal so that you can keep your client, in contract without breaching. Those kind of things it baffles my mind to this very day that so many people don't understand how to operate in this industry. And it became a significant frustration because in an effort to protect my own clients and to handle my transactions the way that they're supposed to be done, you're kind of at the mercy of, the weakest link. You're holding the hand of the other person. And sometimes, you have these points of contention in the middle of a transaction that are just based on a lack of understanding from the other agent. And, it creates unnecessary stress and unnecessary hostility, right? So I try to think of how can I adjust? How can I impact the business? How can I do that? And I realized that there's a significant need for education, but not just any education, free education. See, education is expensive financially, but it also takes a big time commitment. And so I wanted to create something that was accessible readily at your fingertips whenever you want it. And the podcast just became such a great opportunity to do that. So whenever you need information, you can go get it. You can search for it and find it. It's right there at your fingertips. You don't have to wait for the next sales meeting. You don't have to devote hours of your life, a long drive to the office, a bunch of distractions, whatever it may be. You have access to education right at your fingertips. And hopefully you have access to personal inspiration to continue growing your business and to take it seriously. Here on RERAW, we're not just going to focus on the business development, but there's going to be a lot of personal growth and development opportunities here as well so that you can be the best version of you for not only for your business, but for your clients. Because if you serve your clients appropriately, then your business will just flourish. It'll be amazing. Now, before I get into the episode formats, I have one last thing I want to let you know about, and some of you probably already know this, but consumer opinion about real estate is changing, and it already has changed, and it continues to change. We do not have the brightest image in the eyes of the consumer in the real estate industry. We just don't, and that's sad to me because I am truly passionate and love this business more than anything I've ever done. But in the absence of value, people are creating technology to replace the agent, because we're just not showing enough value. And we're not showing enough value because there's not enough of us that care. This has to change. We have to invest not just in our lead generation, but we have to invest in our continuous growth and development so that we can be more professional, more knowledgeable, and more valuable to our customers. Now, in an effort to do that, I've constructed 3 different episode structures, 3 different episode formats that I'll be leveraging to deliver content in. The first type of episode that we have to deliver content is going to be by way of a sales meeting, a weekly sales meeting. Now, some of you just rolled your eyes to the back of your head, and I'd ask that you roll them forward, please. These aren't going to just be any old sales meeting. The sales meetings here on RERAW are going to be short form, 20 minutes or less, respectful of your time and the time that your clients deserve of you. When I got into real estate, my manager at the time who couldn't understand why I wouldn't go to sales meetings, I said, Tuesday morning sales meeting is my favorite day of the week. It's the best part of the entire week. He goes, how do you figure you're never there? And I said, because you take all of my competition out of the field and talk to them about how important it is to be out in the field selling. While I actually am out in the field selling, getting all that low-hanging fruit and just crushing it, making it happen. The message is that we're going to have short-form sales meetings so that you have something that is respectful of your time and you have access to something at your fingertips on the go in whatever moment that you're in, that you can start and stop as you please, whether you're listening to it when you wake up in the morning, while you're taking a shower, while you're taking you know what I mean, and just whatever, while you're on your way to your first appointment, while you're in between showings, while you're grabbing a bite to eat, while you're winding down for the day, you have access to short form sales meeting right at your fingertips. Now, what are we going to talk about? all kinds of stuff. Remember, I told you it's not going to just be business. It's going to be personal growth and development as well, because this is a stressful job. This business is relentless. I mean, it's cutthroat, and we're stressed to the max on such a regular basis. Not just with, trying to find clients, but making sure that our business has the right structure. Where do you take your time off? How do you become a better version of you so that you can serve your business appropriately? So we're going to do a lot of personal and professional growth and development. We're going to be talking a lot about mindset. We're going to talk a lot about schedule. We're going to share best practices. We're going to go over sales strategies and techniques and scripts and all kinds of fun stuff as well. Don't get me wrong. We're going to go over all the professional needs as well. But there'll be a lot of personal growth and development opportunity in these sales meetings. So short form sales meetings, and that's something I'm committed to. It'll be mostly monologues, 20 minutes or less, and I'm not looking to spend all 20 minutes on a sales meeting. If for some reason I can get the info out in 10 or 12 minutes, then it'll be shorter that week. Okay, the point is not to waste your time. It's to get you the information you need and then move on. So 1, maybe 2 topics per week, mostly monologue. Periodically I'll bring a guest on, but I have other formats for that, which we're going to get into right now. So 20 minutes or less sales meeting. From the moment you push start to the end of the episode, 20 minutes or less. You have my word. And I've got a lot of people betting against me on that because my family and friends know how much I love to talk, but I'm going to stick to it because you need me to stick to it and I need me to stick to it. We have a lot of things that have to get done to be successful in this business, and you can't spend all of your time listening to sales meetings. All right, so the second show format that we're going to jump into here, one that I'm super excited about, and I feel like I'm going to say that on all 3 of them, but I guess I'm just excited about all 3 of them. The second show format that we're going to have here on RERAW is an interview. Now, I know some of you are thinking, why do we need another interview show? I got to tell you guys, the shows that are out there right now are great in the sense that they interview agents that are the big dogs, the big players. And don't get me wrong, we're going to have those on this show too. But we are going to be doing something a little different on RERAW. Here's our unique differentiator. We're going to be interviewing agents, industry professionals, and sales influencers from every walk of life. Let me throw that at you one more time. On RERAW, we're going to be interviewing agents, industry professionals, and sales influencers from every walk of life. Now, what the heck does that mean? Look, we have a tendency to assign value on what others can teach based on their net worth, based on their sales volume. But we all got into this business for different reasons. We're all chasing different goals for different reasons. I get it. The objective is to make money. But how much? Well, that's unique to the individual. The motivation behind it may be different, and the set of circumstances for all of us are different. You ever been to a big trade show or a convention or a seminar, some event where you're listening to a motivator up on stage? And you're hearing this amazing story. They're inspiring events that led to them making millions and millions of dollars. And all you can think to yourself is how you would love to be them. That's where you want your business to be. But it just seems like it's light years away. How could that person on stage ever relate to you? Right? Because they're making so much that the gap just doesn't seem like it could ever be merged. Right? So here on RERAW, we were going to merge that gap. I'm going to introduce you to other agents that are walking the same path that you are. They may just be a little bit further down the line. Or maybe they're walking right next to you, but they happen to be doing things just a little bit more efficiently than you are. See, if I can introduce you to other people that have a similar set of circumstances to you, that are walking the same walk as you are, then we can start peeling back the excuses as to why you're not doing the best that you can do. Because now you can understand that you are not alone and that you as an individual are unique, but your struggles, your problems, your concerns, the biggest obstacles that you have to face, those are not all unique. If you put all of our struggles, all of our experiences, all of our stuff in a bag at the end of our life, and you poured them out and compared them, we all experience success and failure and loss and love and hurt and growth. We all experience so many of the same things. But when we're looking at that person or listening to that person up on stage, we can just feel so far away because we don't remember or recall in that moment that they may have started right where we are. So I'm going to introduce you to other agents that are walking a similar path to you so that you can use them and leverage what they have, leverage that information as a stepping stone to get to where you ultimately want to be. And if you ultimately want to be that person up on stage, well, great. You'll have the resources and the stepping stones to get there. And if that's not important to you, then that's fine too. But you'll have access to those resources to help you get to where you want to be. And to understand that you're not walking in this journey alone. Are you a single parent trying to balance 3 kids' schedules and 2 different jobs and figure it all out? Perfect. I'm going to introduce you to other people that are just like you. Are you starting this business from the ground up and you just don't have a lot of seed money? No problem. We're going to talk to other people who are doing the same thing or who have recently done the same thing. You trying to figure out where to spend your money because you have a bunch of it and it's burning a hole in your pocket and you don't want to waste it? No problem. We're going to talk to people like that. You want to make $100 million in sales volume? Great. You want to make $1 million in sales volume? That's great too. We all have different goals. I'm going to introduce you to all those different people. See, some of you got into this business wanting to make as much as you could possibly make. Others of you don't want to spend the amount of time and hustle that it takes to do $100 million in sales volume. Some of you are secondary income, supplemental income in your family. Some of you might be trying to make some money in real estate as a hobby or as a side gig so that you can fund your family vacations or a retirement account. Some of you are the breadwinner. Some of you are the sole income provider for your family, or maybe you're for yourself. And failure's not an option. And you have to make as much as you can possibly make, and you'll work 8 days a week if we can find a way to create another one. Those are people that I want to introduce you to. You're going to meet all kinds of people from every walk of life so that you understand that you're not alone. And you understand that there's no reason for you to have excuses. And you can see other people that are just like you who might be doing it a little bit better. This is going to be the ultimate mastermind, folks. It's going to be awesome. So the second episode format is interviews with agents, industry professionals, and sales influencers from every walk of life. Now, if you tell me that there's something you want to talk about or a subject that we're going to discuss and you mention it in, hey, could you get this into a sales meeting, whatever? I don't have all the answers. I know a lot of stuff that's made me successful. I don't have all the answers. And I'm going to use this platform, this format to introduce opportunities and perspective that maybe I don't have so that you can get the answers that you're ultimately seeking. So it's a great way to give you access to information from just all kinds of different people, and I'm super, super excited about it. Now, there is a third show format. It has been dubbed a Ramble Session. The RERAW Ramble. It's a little bit more loose, unstructured. It's kind of the beer talk. It's the after hours. It's where we go in our Ramble Sessions so that we can share the war stories, so that we can vent about the crazy stuff going on. We control social media for the silly questions that people ask or the stories that they tell or whatever. We'll do debates. It's going to be a little bit more explicit. We'll have some fun. There'll be guests on the show. Sometimes there'll be solo Ramble Sessions. Other times we'll have guests. But like I said, the Ramble Sessions are kind of the no format show. So this type of episode will be a lot more casual. We'll definitely get down to some good and important information, but it's not going to have the show structure and format that our interviews will, for example. This may periodically have some interviews on it, but again, it won't have the same cadence as our interview shows do. And it'll obviously be a little bit looser than our sales meetings will be. So I expect the content to be equally valuable. Some of it will be more intense. Some of it will be a bit lighter. And like I said, it's going to be kind of our free-for-all format where anything goes. We're going to have some fun and just ultimately share those after-hours stories that, I don't know, sometimes we just got to get that stuff off of our chest, you know? We got a lot of crazy things that happen during the day, and you know, it's always good to be able to get that stuff off of your chest with other people who might actually be able to understand, get a laugh about it, and, you know, roll those eyes together if necessary. So those are the 3 different show formats, folks. And you know what? 3 exists because different strokes for different folks. We all learn differently. We all need access to different things so that we can maximize our true and total potential. That's why we have 3 different show formats. I'm not trying to appease everybody. I'm never going to make everybody happy. That's not the point. But what worked for you yesterday may not work today. What works today may not work tomorrow or a year from now. What you like listening to today may be different a year from now. You may start off loving the interviews and eventually only tune into the sales meetings. Maybe you love all 3 formats. Maybe you only love one. That's perfectly fine. But I want to give everybody access to something that can be valuable so that we as an industry can start taking our businesses more seriously, can start addressing this industry with the heart and passion that it deserves to be treated with, so that our clients can get the best version of us and know that they're protected because the agent representing them understands what they're doing and genuinely cares. I don't know everything. I will never claim to know everything. There's a lot that I do right in this business. There's plenty that I do wrong that I learn from every day, just like you. Neil Strauss has a great quote. It's short and simple, but it is profound. Learn more, know less. Neil Strauss says, learn more, know less. And that's what we have to do, is open our ears, open our minds so that we can receive perspective from somebody else and become better at what we do. You may be a seasoned veteran in this business and just think you have all the answers. You're wrong. You might have a million good practices, but you can always get better. This business is about self-evaluation. It's about a constant need to get better so that we can lift one another up. Even though we are all competitors, we can lift one another up as colleagues, as professionals, so that the consumer experience can be better because we care. We have the ability as agents and vendors in this business to change the consumer perspective because we care. If we start taking more control and accountability for our actions and the knowledge that we have to conduct business with, then some of these digital platforms, some of these automations that are being created to try and replace the agent and lower the average commission that an agent gets, those things will be less valuable because the agent, the human, will have the power and the knowledge and the ability. Let's not become an industry overtaken by so much technology that the agent becomes obsolete. And we will do that by lifting each other up, but by caring about our continued growth and education, and not just professionally, but personally, because this business is mentally and emotionally taxing and exhausting, and you must care for yourself so that you can be the best business person as well. Folks, my name is James Hoff. I am so privileged and honored to be the host of this show and to have you along this journey and this ride with me. Thank you so much for being here again. I don't have all the answers, but we are going to find them together, and we are just going to have a ton of fun learning. And I so thank you for joining me. I thank you in advance for your feedback. I thank you in advance for your engagement and interaction with your notes and the subjects and topics that you want to discuss and dive into further. And I'm very, very thankful and excited for the relationships that I'll be building with so many of you on the other side of those devices. I'm so thankful that we have this opportunity together. As we close things up, care enough about your business to take it seriously. It doesn't mean you can't have fun, but let's grow together. Check out the other episodes that launched along with this. I'm super excited to be diving into the real content moving forward. The other episodes give that content in its natural habitat so you can really experience it for what it is. And I will see you on the road. This is James Hoff. You're listening to RERAW. Have a great day, everybody.